Hey, hello, a very good morning to you all. My name is Daddy Chris, and this is the African Renaissance Television, reaching you here from London. Because I'm probably going to be alone today, I think I should talk on a very, very sensitive topic, a topic I can play up and down, looking at the world, looking at the continent, and looking at Nigeria. But as you know, I'm going to make it simple, and I'm going to really have a little bit of a journey with you today. And when I come back home to Nigeria, I'm going to share with you what the BBC have to say about us. This is a nation. It's one nation. I said boundless strength. I'm talking of a truly united Nigeria. Now, then let's not start from there. Let's start from the world. Have you ever put yourself together and asked yourself, why is the world so divided? Why? And sit down and ask yourself. You see, yes, they are the Americans, they are the Russians, and they're the Ukrainians, and they are the Palestinians, and they're the Israelis. Everywhere you turn, we're killing one another. Have you sit down to ask yourself, why? Because we refuse to understand that we are one people. One. Not even two, one. And they have a way, they always have a way of making you believe that the other man is different from you. Whereas in true sense, you could be married to that, your daughter could be married to their people, or I don't even like the word using their people. I was just sleeping this night and I was wondering how could the Israelis be killing the Palestinians or the Palestinians killing the Israelis and they're celebrating it? What is the love? Where did it get it wrong between Russia and Ukraine? I was in Ukraine. I can see they speak the same language. Pajalosta. Leave me alone. They are the same people. Now, that of the Palestinians and the Israelis, these are children of Abraham. Abraham, the man, is the man we read about in the Bible every day. But look at what happened. They managed to split themselves into the children of Ishmael and Isaac. And today, look at the division. They're killing themselves without looking back. That they have a father called Abraham. Oh, let's look at Russia and the Ukraine. They were the same United Soviet Union. Today, look at the heavy division. Look at the bloodshed. Sometimes I'm ashamed. I don't think I am a part of that war. But I won't go into that today. Perhaps it is easier for me to look at Africa. And when I look at Africa, I say to myself, before the people gathered, before this European gathered in Berlin to divide us, there is no Nigeria, no Ghana, no this. We were all one people. They share it. I was listening to a very beautiful song. They share the world. Nothing will surprise me anymore. I shared that video. The man was amazing. And you see the heavy choir. We should sing that kind of song to the world. When I saw it, I was just sharing it and I was sharing that video on my Facebook. The question is, now, Africa is now divided into 54. 54, what I call mushroom countries. They are mushrooms. Mushroom countries. 54. I come on this show a few days ago and I said, the economy of California is higher than the whole of Africa put together. We are still happy to where I'm president of Nigeria. Look at Tinubu, I am president of Ghana. Where's your economy? What do you have to show that you are president of Ghana or president of Nigeria? What? In fact, this is what Kwame Nkrumah was crying. The man was saying it. He was begging them that we should live here with one army, one currency. Years ago, they came out with a loose thing, Organization of African Unity. OAU. When I grew up, it was about OAU. We were dancing the OAU. Stupidity. The greed of our leaders started then. They want to be president. They want to be known as this. That's how we got to where we are. Otherwise, we would have come up with one Africa then, and would have a United States of Africa. And guess what? You might underrate what I'm saying now. I think perhaps now we are trying to form the African Union, because the Organization of African Unity is a joke. Gaddafi translated it to African Union. Now let me explain this to you. Those of you listening to me today. When I got to Europe years ago, Europe was deeply divided. Anyway, you don't know how the EU came about. I just did a presentation on the EU. After the Second World War, Europeans, one man just said, oh, you know what? Let us come together and share one common destiny. Let us have one economic tie together. So they came up with the sharing of the steel and coal, because that was the thing that was killing them. They were killing themselves over steel and coal. So they said, I'm talking of Europe now. They said, no, in order for us, if we own it together, there will be no reason, because we have one economy, there will be no chance for us to kill ourselves. So that was the beginning of the EU. When I got here, EU wasn't that effective. It later went down to form different treaties until they now come to the European Union. Now, the beauty of the European Union, my people, is when I got here, the highest currency, when I came to Belgium, 1992, the highest currency in Europe was the Dutch mark, which was very, very low compared to the dollar. In fact, I arrived in a country called Slovenia. Slovenia don't even have money. We call it Slovenian dollars. They were completely independent bagger too. Now look at what EU has done for them. They came together under one unit, under one block. They now have the euros. The euro is now higher than the US dollars. Imagine if Africa had come together now, as I'm speaking, and said, let us use one currency, and we call it Afro, give it any name. That money would be bigger than the US dollar in a few days. But what is Naira? Where can you use your Naira? Show me where Naira is. Show me where cedis is. Don't deceive yourself. In fact, those of them in the French African countries, they don't even have their own currency. It is France still deciding what currency they should have. Yet they refuse to come together. I'm not going to stay there today. I'm coming home. Let's come to Nigeria. The reason I give you those instances is the power, the importance of one Nigeria. So when I hear people saying, oh, I am the Yoruba, I want the Duduwa state, you are a joke. I want the Biafran state, for me, you are a joker. Oh, you are the biggest joke. We are talking of an Africa that is already divided. How much is your currency? What do you have to go with if you have a Biafra today? What do you have to go with if you have your Duduwa state? And those of you in the area, what do you have? And the funniest thing is they are even trying to take what we have. Those of us from the South South. I am proud. I'm from Delta State. None of you have what we have. Yet we are not the one even making noise in that country that we want to go. You that have nothing are the one making mouth, feeding on us. And you're looking at me today with a scorn. But Mali said we're going to chase those crazy bald head out of town. You're eating upon my corn. And you're looking at me with a scorn. That is what is going on in Nigeria. We are not even angry. Because one Nigeria will be better than a Delta state or a South South that is very rich. How much do we have? Is it not the small oil? But imagine what Nigerian currency will be, or what the African economy will be. Perhaps the world should come together and have one single economy so that we stop killing one another like they did in Europe. Let's stay with Nigeria. Let's stick to those who want to go away. You see, I don't know about Nigeria if your dream, but this is Nigeria I see. When I think of Nigeria, I see people like this. It makes me proud. When I see Nigeria, I see this. When I see Nigeria, I see this. This is the Nigeria I see. I don't know about the Nigeria you see. These people here don't care whether they are Hausa or Yorubas. This is not the same people. The problem we have is people like Tinubu and El-Rufai. These are the two men, the two people that they can show it every day. They tell you, no, it's time for the Northerner to come. It's time for, not the time for Nigeria to grow. And even if you leave the Yoruba man, where are you going? How much do you have? You, the Yorubas, looking at me today, with the claiming Nigeria is yours. How much do you have in your land? You, the Hausa man, how much do you have in your land? Together, Nigeria will fly. But you people have managed to destroy this beautiful land. Tinubu used a word and I was so happy. He said it's a beautiful land. Now, instead of Nigeria to show example to the rest of Africa, that together we can do this, you are thinking of division. If you see the other ones on the board, he went to British house here that he want to submit a letter looking for a breakaway of the Yoruba land. You are a foolish man. Very foolish. Where are you going? Why are you going to British to beg for? You see, this is how you disgrace yourself. This is how you keep disgracing yourself. I'm sure the Igbo man want to go to looking for and the reason now, and I'm going to be angry with them. I'm fighting them, but the reason, the question is, why are these people really trying to break away? It's because of the attitude of the mismanagement of our resources. If Nigeria is growing, nobody cares. Oh God, yeah. Listen, they've done a referendum in the United Kingdom 3 times. The Scottish people didn't go because there's a prosperous United Kingdom. It is because there is a strong bond. At least there's that economic power. There's that benefit you get from being in the house of that parliament. They have one. Where are you fighting for? Yoruba people and Hausa people. What are you people fighting for in Nigeria? This is the Nigeria I see. Look at them, beautiful. They don't care here. I was watching Ahmed Musa, who was playing, who scored the goal for the whole Nigeria. Is an Amokache and a Yoruba man? Am I not proud of Daniel? What's wrong with you? And now let's look at it. Let's look at the football. We just need to twin our brain a little bit around. When you go to the international stage, we don't care where Messi come from. We don't care where Ronaldo come from. We have their fans. See, that is the world we want to live in. A world where skills and performances dictate your followership. Not my Yoruba man, not my Hausa man, not my Igbo man. You are timid because you are fighting tribal war. But Mali said it. See, them want to be the star, so they fighting tribal war. You're fighting tribal war. It means you are primitive. And that's what I'll be talking about today. And that's what I'll be talking more about today. I see Nigeria growing so fast. Now, let me tell you what BBC said before I bring my people in. Now, BBC call us. This is what they wrote. Not me, it's BBC. It said Nigeria should be African powerhouse. It is the continent's biggest oil producer and most populous country. Now, they went for that, but after decades of poor governance, there's no mistake. Most of it 160 million. They say 160. Most of it 400 million people are still in mere poverty. Poverty is our name. Poverty is our destiny. We are the capital of the world in poverty. It is not because of, look at, they started it up. It is the most populous, the richest, the powerhouse. But we are in poverty because of poor governance. And who are the poor governors? We can see it displayed today. It's Tinubu telling us that the Hausa man is the problem. Or El-Rufai telling us that the Yoruba man is the problem. Not Assad, Islam and Christian. Stupidity. Destroying a beautiful land that is so blessed. The powerhouse now reduced to robots. Nino Brown said $1 million a week business reduced to fucking robots. Sorry for my language. You see, my people. Now, another thing that's so interesting is they are also divided among this line. Ethnic, Yoruba, Hausa, religion, Muslim. These are all borrowed religions. Borrowed. I can understand economic. We should be angry because of economy. But if we have a common prosperity like they did in Europe, when they come, you don't know what is European Union. They came together to fight in an attempt to stop war in Europe. You know, when Europeans are fighting, they call it World War. When they are fighting their tribal war, we call it World War. The first World War was a fight between them, and they call it World War. It didn't affect us. It didn't affect America. It was within them. The second one, the same thing. They call it World War. They came together to solve their problem. How would they come together and solve the world problem? But I want to leave them now. Africa has never even thought about it. Not single brain. What Kwame Nkrumah was crying for years ago, we couldn't even see come to it today. I thought my children would be talking about a new Africa. Now we are not even talking about a divided Nigeria. We've not even achieved Kwame dream 60 years on. That we need, that the solution is to come together. Now what we're doing is we are even fighting to keep Nigeria as one. Kai or Beren. Not Africa now. We are not even disintegrating. Kwame will be shaking in his grave, crying. Our forefathers are crying in the grave. Thanks to people like Tinubu and El-Rufai. Showcase your stupidity. Let the world watch you. Because our forefathers are watching, they are there. They've suffered for what you have now. The Nigerian independence did not come for free. African independence did come for free. They are in the grave crying. Let me bring Asaba in. A very good morning to you guys in Asaba. Morning, Asaba. I'm sorry, guys, that I have to hold the show. A very good morning to you guys.
Good morning to you.
Yes. Today is one of those days I said, let us take a look at the Nigeria, what our problem is. I know we don't know. Yesterday I was saying that our problem is not even be thinking of corruption, we're talking of economy. But let's look at it this way. This division, this political division, this bad governance is coming from political division because they are no more interested in governing. Tinubu is not interested in becoming the president of Nigeria. He's only want to stick to power. And the Yoruba people will be happy with him now because he's going to appoint them. But they are still poor. Listen, Buhari fought the same battle. Where is the Hausa people today? Are they rich now? Are the Hausa people rich today? Buhari is come and gone. Are they rich now? No. Because the problem is not really addressed when you begin to fight tribal wars. Let's talk about how Nigeria can grow. And Tinubu come to power 2 years down the line. How many years down the line? He is only trying to stick to power. And El-Rufai is busy playing the bigot game again. Like Buhari. Oh, why don't we go with the power? Like we need to get power. Power to do what? What are you going to do with the power? Let my brother be president. For what? I ask a question. When would your brother be president? Why? Like I gave instance on this show already. When we look at the world stage, we don't look at the Green Eagles anymore. We don't look at them anymore. We'll either like Ronaldo. The top players, we fell in love with them. Look at, I am so much in love with this young man from Paris now. Because when he hold the ball, he's so selfish, Mbappe. He's so powerful. He's going to run. You know, that boy has strength. And those are the kind of things I look for. I'm not looking where he comes from anymore. And I'm happy Nigerians are so much in love with, is it Messi? But I'm a very big fan of Ronaldinho. Because I just love the way he played the football. Now, even when as much as I love Okocha, you see, these are keys. We should be looking at the performances, the strength of a human being, not where he comes from. And that is what I break this beautiful country, this one nation, boundless strength. The strength is you can't bound it. But look at what we have today. A divided sheep Nigeria, where poverty, we are now the capital of the world. The poverty capital of the world. It's a shame. And you know, before I let my people come in, I want to sound this note. The only thing that is not free is freedom. The only thing that is not free is freedom. The independence we got today was as a result of the sweat, the blood of some people. And what did I say? Jesus Christ gave you freedom, but he died to give you freedom. So salvation is not free. Yeah, it's been given to you freely, but the price was paid for salvation. He died. That's why you celebrate Easter. Muhammad was on the run. They have to displace him. He ran from Mecca, his homeland, because they would have in fact, they slaughtered that guy with speed. So it's no freedom. And I want to remind you, if you see what Marcus Garvey went through in the United States to give black people a sense of dignity, You will be crying today what these black idiots are doing with us. People that are supposed to carry on. I can't wonder what Marcus Garvey will be thinking in his grave, man. He will be kicking the grave. He will be kicking himself in the grave. Awolowo will be fighting. This is not the Nigeria I fought for. The man I know is crying right now is Kwame Nkrumah. When Kwame Nkrumah gathered people years ago and said, we don't need this African Organization of African Unity. Of course, he's one of them. There are many. Let us go with one Africa, one army, one currency. This is years ago. What did they do? That was the time they formed the Organization of African Unity. History students, go and find out. Today, we are still looking for a divided, we are looking at Nigeria, a divided one. Rufai is going to tell us what is good about the Hausa man. Yoruba man will tell us what is this. The Igbo man will tell us this. What a low life, people. That will now reduce a country with so much strength, so much power, so much to give. You reduce it to poverty capital of the world. Asaba, I don't know what to say anymore. Who did this to us?
All right, thank you very much. Interestingly, I've been in a very sober reflection, listening to you on your opening salvo. You say making comparisons of realities and expectations. We did it to ourselves because we failed to copy what is right and improve on it. Instead, we manipulated the ideology that was given to us to guide us. It's just like when you go to buy a drug, prescription drugs, you see the doctor's prescription, 2 tablets, 3 times daily. But Nigeria, we want to finish the full, want to take 10 tablets 3 times daily, thinking it will work like that. And things don't flow that way, things don't work that way. Nigeria should, as a point of necessity, be the biggest and most populous black nation on earth. Yes, we are. But economically, we are not. Smaller nations, the Namibias, the Botswanas, most South African nations, East African nations, their GDP is far better than ours. The BBC indicated something there, that the most populous black nation and the highest or whatever producers of crude oil. The same BBC, I expected them to have been able, because I think ignorance is a major problem with leadership. I expected them to have been able to equally advise Nigeria for diversification of potentials. They should stop centering their concentration on the oils, the availability of oil. The IMF, if you want to borrow money, they are always eager to give us money. The World Bank, they don't monitor what these monies are used for. You can't borrow money to enjoy life. That's what our politicians do. They borrow money
to enjoy
their lifestyle, yes, to help themselves in the parliament, to live a luxury life, not for infrastructure development, not to resuscitate the power sector. And the IMF keeps giving them. I saw a write-up recently that said that by 2029, we should have been able to pay off all our debt to in the IMF. The IMF should, the World Bank, the African Development Bank, when you give somebody a loan, it is not just about giving somebody a loan. You should monitor these loans, how they have been implemented, because the reasons for applying for these loans are quite different from what the implementation process on the usage turn out to be.
So you expect the people that give you loan to care about you. Is that what you say? The people who are doing business, who want to make profit, they are the ones to care about you. Is that what you want? Is that what you say? Is that your expectation?
How can they be making profit at the expense of governance? That's the problem. Yes, our political elite are making profit at the expense of governance.
So you should be talking to your elite, not the people who are looking for profit. The IMF, The World Bank, they're looking for profit. They give you loan, you pay the interest. That's what they look for. They don't care.
They are part of the problem. They are capitalists. Yes, they're capitalists in nature. They are part of the problem. Then we are the crux of the problem.
Yes.
Because two different people can collect a loan, the same amount of money, but the period of turnover, it depends on how you use it. You understand? Now we're looking at the trajectory. We reference the fact that we could have been greater if we are one united people, which is obviously and realistically very true. But we can't be one united people when we have allowed ourselves to be influenced.
There's always this sound that is making noise where you are. There's boom, boom. Asaba. I don't know.
Okay. When we have allowed ourselves to be influenced by the shenanigans of governance. Now, look at the history that you talked about. When the white man came to colonize us, the colonization was premised on trade. They looked at so many things. They can't colonize you if you don't have economic value. They looked at our economic value. That was where the premise of colonization on.
There's never war when there's no economic value. When there's no economic value, there will be no war.
True. Over us so that they can have a grip on our resources. And they used the caveat. They created the dichotomy that we are facing today. They brought religion, Christianity, which is part of the problem. They Islamized us because I saw you made reference to Ishmael and Isaac being the same children of the same parents.
Yes, they are.
Of course.
They are.
That is a situation that Nigeria contextually is right now. Now,
exactly.
Our biggest problem is democracy. Our modification of democracy we are actually practicing right now. Because if we unite, I'm watching some of the clips you said. Have you seen I remember the Atlanta 96 when we won. We jogged from Ogba to Ikeja bus stop. Hausas were hugging, non-Hausas, Muslims were hugging Christians.
Thank you.
Were on the road.
Thank you.
3 a.m. from Ogba to Ikeja bus stop. We didn't know when we got to Ikeja bus stop. Coming back, everybody became one. We're so united. When Abacha died, everybody celebrated. Nobody was a Muslim, nobody was a Christian. But we just found out that the common problem had left us.
Exactly.
So, that when it gets to a level where we need to look at how we can govern ourselves and bring out the best of ourselves, it becomes pretty difficult. It becomes pretty difficult. Now, we allowed it to foster itself on us because we allowed the narrative of our political elite to take advantage of our mental strength. A man will come and tell you the Christians are not your brothers. Another will come and tell you the Muslims are not your brothers. Another will come and tell you that we have Yoruba Muslims, we have Hausa Muslims. Another will come and tell you that the Fulani Muslims are the real Muslims. I mean, there's a contradiction about religion, and that's what the political elite are using to create the kind of situation that they need to foster themselves on leadership.
I said, in fact, they fool themselves because both Tinubu and El-Rufai, they are Muslims. Wait, sir, I said Tinubu and El-Rufai are Muslims. Go on. I'm saying that Tinubu and El-Rufai, they are Muslims. Look at them. Now they don't have excuse. They will not have what to say to each other. They're going to, is El-Rufai telling people that Tinubu is not a Muslim? He's an infidel. I don't know what he's even preaching. You understand? And Tinubu is always busy making every little state that is not, any little state that is not with APC, he's bulldozing them. So who is our friend here? Tinubu El-Rufai. Sorry, my brother. I just sorry for that interjection. I was just adding.
Can I tell you something again?
Yes, sir.
Now we look at what is happening now. I felt so pained when I listened to Emeka Nyoko, the former Commonwealth Secretary General. I think it was 2 days ago or 3 days ago. It was on a live program on Arise Television. I think they were talking about leadership. 3 leaders struck my mind. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. I am proud of his boldness. Now he's beginning to speak with a lot of boldness. And he castigated the elite, the political elite, that they are the problems of this country. Without mincing words, I saw fearlessness in his eyes for the first time. He was confrontational in his narrative, insinuating the fact that they are the problem, they, inclusive himself, are the problem of Nigeria. That there was one language in our use. They said the use of institutions to turn election results around is affecting our style of governance. It was short of mentioning the 2023 general election. In as much as I have my reservations for Gowon, he seemed to be a leader that has learned so many lessons. Gowon had an opportunity to right so many wrongs post-Civil War era, but he didn't do that because, well, the Christian Northerner, they had so many mafia. The Kaduna Mafia were there, the Langtang Mafia, he was the general. So it was difficult to allow his ideology see the light of day until now that it probably became a statement quote. He made a lot of statements, and Anyao Kuna put the icing on the cake. He put the blame of Nigerian situation on the doorstep of our leaders over the years. Our leaders have seen leadership as an access route to actualizing their own selfish interests against the collective interest of the led. And you begin to wonder where we had gotten this wrong. Yesterday, at the plenary in the National Assembly, I was watching a certain senator representing Kano Central, a member of the NNPP, the Kwakwasiaya party. And yesterday was the biggest pain in my heart about the legislation. The Senate president was announcing his defection from the NNPP to the APC. And when he finished announcing, in the foolishness of that senator, he stood up and was clapping for himself, and all other APC senators came around him. They were congratulating him. And I just sat down and pondered. Are these the kind of people we have asked to go prepare laws for us? What is the celebration all about? That they are celebrating the defector from NNPP to APC. They all gathered him, tell him he's welcome to the ruling party. Is legislation all about defection? Is legislation not supposed to be promulgation of laws to aid the executive in the discharge of its duties, to create a template for checks and balances, to help the economy grow? In their shameless state, they celebrated, they hugged, and they welcomed him. Now, how does the democracy grow without opposition? And we expect to. Nobody is talking of agricultural revolution. Nobody is talking about revolution of the natural resource sector. Nobody is talking of palm fruit revolution. Malaysia came to Benue River Basin to take seeds of palm. Today, we are the second highest exporter of palm oil after Brazil in the post-independence era. But today, Malaysia, I don't know if we're among the first 5. The likes of Venezuela, Brazil, Malaysia, and all that have taken over us. We're not talking about that. I read through some literature and I saw that cocoa boom has started again in the southwest. That even graduates, lecturers are beginning to go back to cocoa farming. So are the state houses of assembly in the southwest, or is the National Assembly not privy to that information that cocoa boom has come back, that people can start cultivating cocoa? Families are beginning to go back to cocoa farming. One of our senators made reference to he was an exporter of granite. What are you now? You are only seated to await FAC allocation to share. Why did you stop exporting granite?
Exactly.
Where are the granite pyramids? Where are the cotton plantations we had in the north? A lot of people do not know how we came to have so many textile factories in Kaduna. It was because of the fact that Northwest region was a major exporter of cotton and was a major cultivator of cotton in the pre-independence and post-independence era before the oil boom. Besides sorghum, cotton, and so many other natural resources that they were exporting, they were not dependent on oil. Oil that was supposed to be a blessing turned into a curse. Now, talking about the oneness or the unity you're trying to look at. Now, it will be very difficult, but not impossible. We need to have a transformational mindset as people from different regions. Like you said, before 1914, we didn't know anything about Nigeria, but people were existing. In 1861, that Lagos became a colony. We were existing. There was the Benin Empire before Nigeria became Nigeria. There was the Oduduwa. There was the Ife Empire. We had so many other empires. They were existing on trade. Most importantly, individually, most of these empires had trade relations with Europeans, explorers that came. The Benin Empire had serious trade relations with the British and the Portuguese that came. They exchanged goods and they exchanged humans as well for slaves. They said they wanted to go and take them to work in their plantations. Now we have started democracy post-independence. It has become a curse. We can't even administer ourselves. Chris, you seem to be a sports fan. I'm a sports presenter as well, and I want to tell you something. Do you know that sports is the second highest foreign exchange earner in the United States? Sports is the second highest. We can transform that to sports in Nigeria. We can become one of the highest. Our league, you know what happens to our league? Every year we change sponsors. There are no sponsors. Sponsors come and drop money. The ministry officials, the federations fight for the money. It doesn't get to the athletes. Sports should be a major earner. It is the only unifying factor that keeps us together. Besides oil, we can earn so much from entertainment. Besides oil, there are so many other earners, but we're not looking at it from that angle. We have centralized our earnings to come from just oil alone. And look at, we have the most expensive democracy in the world. Of what use do you look at? Can a politician in the UK be driving a 2025 what they call it, Rolls Royce? Can a politician in the UK, the son, will be following him to the office? How many? I don't know the first lady of the United Kingdom. I don't know the first lady of the city of London. Yeah, local government, Ethiop East, your Ethiop West local government, where you come from. The first lady, they have first ladies. They have College of First Ladies of local government chairmen in Delta State. They have meetings. They show solidarity to the faith. Is there any first lady for the state of California? that earns so much? Have you heard of it? When did we bring First Lady's office into our, what of what use is the
Are
office of the
they?
First Lady?
Good question.
I don't know the wife of, I can't remember the only time you know the wife of Ronald Reagan, the American president. It's in rare occasions, either in death, under ceremonial occasions, but you do not hear the office of the First Lady of the United States of America or office of the First Lady of the government. Do you know how much can be saved if we can eradicate these offices?
These first ladies,
Office of
these first ladies. Buhari said they should stay in the kitchen. They won't kill the old man.
Now, besides all that, multiplicity of appointments for a position. You have executive assistant, you have senior special assistant, you have special assistant, you have SA, you have PA for one position. What did they do? Now we still there like this. What are they advising? The people that are advising, not in their head. The people that they are advising, not in their head. So what are we talking about? We should be content driven. That's why, take it or hate me or like me, I've always said, of all the people we project for leadership in this country so far, Peter Obi is one man that I so much love his ideology. An economy should be production driven. An economy should be manufacturing driven. An economy should have 24 hours power supply to be able to aid production and manufacturing. So it will shock you to know that some of these shoes you see made in Italy, made in Spain, go to Abad, now then they do one.
I agree.
The average Nigerian will not. So they will put made in Spain, made in UK, made in Italy, so that we can gain patronage. Summarizing all this, the biggest problem of Nigeria is Nigerians. Some days ago, you made reference that we got independence too early. Okay, assuming we got it too early, it's 65 years of independence. A man that was born in 1960 would have retired from the civil service.
He's old now, very old man. His frail.
Civil service. What did you do with all your life, from when you were suckling to when?
Engineer is taking us on this beautiful ride, and I guess you guys are with him and you're with us. And the network in Asaba is what it is. And I beg you people today to look at this program with a more open mind. This is not about the quiz. This is not about the engineer. This is not about us. It's about these beautiful people you see out there. These are children.
African Union that you have
just
seen.
want the best.
African Union even create wars for the independent states. Instead of unifying them, they create wars. They create a situation because of interest for war. But besides all this, sir, I want to make us understand something. We cannot entirely exonerate the Europeans from the leadership crisis in Africa. Look at the influence of France over most French colonies. We are beginning to find out that most of the problems, most of these European nations are exploitative on our economies. And that is why the Burkinabe leader is coming to say what he's saying, and so many other Francophone countries. Of course, the British do not have so much influence over the colonies they have, like Nigeria, Ghana, you name it. But then, they are part of the problems that we have seen today. They didn't help the healing process. They didn't help in the transformative process. And they created a scenario of divide and rule. How can you give the Northerner the impression that you people have political power, those who have economic power, but then political power is bigger than economic power, which is true. And the average Northerner you have given that impression would hold strong onto political power. This is 2027, 2025. 2027 is election. They are now talking about the numerical strength of the North over the South. When we have so many pressing issues to look at, to talk about, is it the time to be talking about numerical strength? We've not done a census for so long. We don't even know the number of people we have. We have porous borders. We have security challenges. So I think Nigeria needs a reflective leadership that will look onto the past and think of what to do to get us out of this mess. We can't be so blessed, but then remain so poor with so much resources all around.
Oh,
Now, look at
the
during
very
the
word
fighting that
Omar Gege said to me, he said that the Chris, we are too rich to be poor. I'm quoting Omar Gege. He said, we are too rich to be poor. See, Fidel Castro said, we are poor people living in a rich nation. Fidel Castro said, we are poor people living in a rich nation. That is unacceptable. He decided to take something. I hear you saying, I hear you blaming the Europeans. It's okay to blame them. They did not. You see, even when they came to Africa, before they did the slavery, our king agreed with them. So there's no way you can be betrayed. Your own, my people say, now route when the day inside, I bring the one, when I invite the one, come say, come food there. We can never be betrayed if somebody within us, of course, that's why it's betrayal. Somebody that knows is the one that's going to tell you. Jesus Christ was betrayed by one of his disciples. Somebody inside the house. And you know what I'm always saying is, look at these beautiful people here. Look at our beautiful daughters. Imagine what they have in mind. Look at the beautiful mind they have for Nigeria. Look at the costume. Look at us. Then look at El-Rufai. Look at Tinubu. Look at the game they are playing. You play politics instead of governing these people. They need your governance, sir. They are begging for it. And I wish you can understand. I wish these children can cry to you. All they want. I was talking to a poor girl yesterday. He said, I'm not eating. And truly, she has not eaten. She has not. That is our problem today. It's not about how the Hausa man, you know what I said to the Northerner? Buhari was there for 8 years. Where is your life? What has it done to you? So we actually sometimes we're going to leave the Northerner to continue to rule. Let us see whether your life will not. In fact, these guys are jokers. It is the same few Northerners who have a lot of money. El-Rufai, who has been in government for years, is still there. He has not made enough money. He's still looking for more. That little man, when they for squeeze out. It's annoying. It is annoying. And as we look at this, my pain is, I brought this picture to see what can unite us. How beautiful we are. You know, I was watching it in the last match we saw. You were talking of these boys, when they went to go to the last African Nations Cup, you saw the beauty of Nigeria. In fact, some people had heart attack for losing the match. Again, that is our human nature, believing in Nigeria. You know what I was thinking of? I was thinking that as of today, that we have been so united that other countries will want to join us. That Benin Republic is not a country. I say it. There should be a state in Nigeria. Mali should be a state. All these should be states in Nigeria. And Nigeria should be changed to Africa. You know, so we can come. That is a vision that we'll be talking about, that our children will be talking about. Not a divided Nigeria. Not El-Rufai and Tinubu. Not Atiku. You know what it is? This is dragging us behind. I repeat what Omar Gege said to me. We are too rich to be poor. The only reason we are poor is what BBC said today. But after decades of poor governance, it's not me. After decades of poor governance, this is what we have. The 400 million people are in poverty. Can we dance for this? I will let Mbaka say something on this, and then we're going to quickly go to the newspaper today, because I think we have a lot to do on the newspaper today. I want Mbaka to throw light on this.
Okay, thank you so very much. Historians will often make reference to 15th November 1884 and 26th of February 1885 that's talking about the Berlin Conference and what they also refer to as the scramble and partition for Africa. The artificiality
magnificent
of the
African cake.
Yeah.
They call it
Yes.
the magnificent African cake. That's the very word of the King of Belgium. So I'm going to get my share of that magnificent African cake.
Yes, but before then, historically speaking, there had been bilateral relations. So they didn't just sit in Berlin and brought out the map and started just cutting and saying, I take this place, I take this place. And I'm so delighted by the contributions already made on this platform that, yes, they saw something in Africa and they wanted to have control. They wanted, commerce was the driving force. Every other thing was just trying to dress up what their real goal was. And till tomorrow, you still find the relationship between the United Kingdom and Nigeria, United Kingdom and Ghana and all that. And tomorrow, till tomorrow, you still see
we now have the Commonwealth, sir. We now have the Commonwealth. We are now one Commonwealth, but only the king is the head of the Commonwealth. The Commonwealth, not they go to the other Commonwealth. Now only the king. Now only here that they get the head of the Commonwealth. You're the common bear.
The wealth is common, but we know where it is domiciled. It's domiciled somewhere, but it's common. There is something that is a bit intriguing. That is the fact that, yes, they may have, as it were, granted political independence, but they are still manipulative of the nature of government we have in place. We still know what happened to the Thomas Sankara. We still know, okay, now we are talking of a revolutionary, a visionary, a sacrificial leader, you know, that is ready to come on board, maybe in his 30s, not even more than 40, coming in and saying, look, if I perish, I perish. And you see Nigeria actually realizing its potentials and taking its place.
All right, as you know, Asaba is what it is. You guys are used to it now. I'll bring them back the moment there's some kind of resolution of the network. Okay, they are back. Asaba is back. We are with you, sir. Go on, Chirubaka. Hello, we are with you. Okay, I think they cannot hear me. The network there can be frustrating, but that is the Nigeria of today. So to some extent, we must give credit to our network providers. But hey, this is a thing of decades ago, not the 21st century. Anyway, Mbaka, are you there? It's like you can't hear me. All right, I'll flow with it. Moment Mbaka can hear me, I will allow you guys.
We are hearing you now.
Okay, then yes, you've not finished.
We are hearing you now.
Okay,
we are hearing you now. Yes, the colonial authorities, what they call neo-colonialism and imperialist tendencies, they may have been physically out of this place, but they appear to be more conscious. They are more aware of our potentials and do know that the only thing lacking is commitment in leadership. And they do know that once we get that right, they will be taking the backstage in the Committee of Nations. And so what they have continuously done is to ensure that we settle for mediocrity in leadership. I think engineer referenced that when he was talking about telling the North. You know, why would the British be interested in a retired headmaster from the north, endorsing him as the president of Nigeria, and his vice will be somebody who is a professor, who has a PhD in all. It did happen in Shagari and Ekwueme. Ekwueme had his PhD in a number of fields. Even when he was out of government as vice president, he still went to University of Nigeria and studied law. Yet such a person was meant under the kind of leadership that had the endorsement of UK to play a second fiddle. We have had it in Osibanjo and Buhari. And currently, I mean,
are we really blaming the West for that? Did they vote for us? Are they the one that voted them in?
Yeah.
Are you saying that the West imposed them on us, or we voted them in? So we
there
don't
is
have
no government
we
we have had in Nigeria that has not had an endorsement from UK.
Okay.
We have not had any government
and we could not refuse their endorsement
that has not had endorsement of the British.
But and we could not refuse the endorsement. We cannot.
It's just like telling me that there will be a government in Cameroon without the endorsement of France. If Godfrey Baka emerges tomorrow as the president of Nigeria and comes up with revolutionary tendencies and trying to change things around, and if UK doesn't give me the backing with an understanding, then of course my days in office are numbered. That is a major neo-colonialist tendency. Yes, they may not be voting directly, but even before election, as the politicians are consulting here, you actually need the endorsement of your former colonial authority. And they must have to find out what is the profile of this kind of person. Is he a radical? That is the word.
Is it that the decrease will be too harsh for us to control?
Yes, is he a decrease? Or is it predictable? Or is it somebody that, I mean, we need to give a goat and hold the rope? Otherwise, if he's that kind of masquerade that when he's dancing, if you are not sure of where the rope is, then of course he could dance out of tune and send people away from the marketplace. Can we regulate him?
Exactly.
Can he listen to what IMF and the other international authorities talking about the getting wood authorities? Can they have a situation where he can be regulated? Can he still listen to them? Or is it somebody who will come in and, as it were, throw things around? So that remains one of our major problems. That is why it appears as if over and over again, we are settling for mediocrity in leadership. And mediocrity in leadership cannot take us out of the woods. We are in the woods, politically speaking. And it had started from the colonial authorities to the First Republic. From the First Republic, how come that with all the potentials of Nnamdi Azikiwe, his popularity even in the Southwest, where NCNC was winning election in Lagos and the other places, they came up with this arrangement where he had to be answerable, as it were, ceremonial president, answerable to a prime minister of a northern extraction. So they have made this kind of arrangement that Nigeria, we will not be able to benefit from our size and our potentials. And that is a very dangerous one. Taking it from Africa and the beauty of what Nkrumah stood for, beyond Pan-Africanism, one big, great Africa. And I tell you that even the developed nations of the world, we feel threatened by this one big, one great...
With the United States of Africa. The United States of Africa will be a threat to anybody.
Yes, United States.
Because they will be negotiating with us as one. China will negotiate with us as one. America will negotiate with us as one. We'll have one army. Imagine.
Yes.
one army. We will have a voice. One currency.
One currency. One currency. One great economy.
Yes. So we have a voice.
Get it, live. I do not need a visa. We have a voice.
Good. And now imagine the damage they're doing to Nigeria, which is the biggest. Yes. Now imagine.
And so the cosmetic arrangement, very dysfunctional arrangement of UA, United Nations, is it from OAU to AU, African Union. African Union. Those are too cosmetic. Even at the ECOWAS level, we have not gotten it. The regional bloc. And the Francophones not going out.
We don't even need it. We don't even need it. We don't need it. We need the United States for Africa. And like I said, it's threatening, and I know I probably get written down in the bad book. We don't need Commonwealth. We need United States for Africa. Because what you do with Commonwealth? When the Francophone are also committing, the colonial masters, like you said, they won't go. But it's not their fault. If we had come with United States for Africa, all this Commonwealth rubbish that are having the king and the queen still be the head of us, no one will be gone. They've not forced us. Now, look at what is so painful. The Nigeria that is even the biggest, we are fighting to divide. We are not even thinking of how to bring the Africa together. We are fighting to divide the small one we have. We are dividing it. Look at El-Rufai and Tinubu. They are the weapons they use to destroy the future. By telling me that the problem is the Hausa man. The Hausa man. We're talking of United States of Africa. You don't talk of. In fact, in those days, when will they grow up? You get one guy where they do what you do for us. Say if you blow one person, they go fall. We call him Otishe. If they put the ring for your hand, if you blow the person go fall. Let's say I go home, one boy put the thing for my hand. I begin laugh. I said that machine gun is they shoot people now. They see the guy Otishe. You understand? You see the guy Otishe. Now machine gun. Now they keep. You understand? See, people are talking of machine gun. They talk of Otishe. I go hit person go fall. No, there's nuclear weapon now. We need to think how not between the north and the south, but a united Africa and perhaps a united world. You see, what I'm even saying to the Europeans is the way you were able to come together and unite behind steel and coal to avoid wars in Europe. Why don't the world come together and unite behind a common purpose of economic purpose so that the wars in the world can go away? My brother, are you not confused that they're still killing each other today in the Palestinian and the Israeli? Russia is killing the
trajectory is this.
And they're celebrating.
From the divisions of colonialism, we are now in the artificial boundaries being created by the political elite. In the section of Asaba where I live, if a free and fair election is to be conducted there, the Hausa guys, can produce. They are more than us in Obanan, and really? They are at home with the weather. They are at home with the things they are doing. One of them brought me to the studio this morning, and they are at home. And some of them are eating our food. They are speaking our language.
They are wonderful. Some people use the word. They cook. In fact, they see what is so painful. These people have. If Africa, I should be able to stay in Egypt and feel at home
for years. So we were born in Cable over the years, and they have become part of their Asaba history. We show you where their parents were buried in Cable,
exactly.
In Asaba.
Yes,
and the Asaba of Asaba, the new Asaba of Asaba, Professor Azinge, had to visit them as a quarter.
Of course.
Historically, from time to time, they produce a counselor to government.
Definitely.
They have to. They give them SA. They have integrated.
Yes.
They see us, we are one.
And I love it.
It's only the political elite, the El-Rufais, who are trying to exploit what I call artificial boundaries of religion, ethnicity, language, and region, and all that. And that is not, and come to think of it, even the National Assembly is beginning to give it a legislative platform. We now have Regional Development Commission. Before it used to be NDDC. It was just NDDC. Now there is a Northwest Region Development Commission. There is now a South Region Development Commission. So that instead of you were elected to come and through the instrumentality of legislation forge a one united prosperous Nigeria,
yes,
that should be able to be the envy of Africa. But you are there that because Akpabio was a minister in charge of NDDC, and he saw the money that was going to NDDC, he now came up with a South Region Development Commission. There is now a Middle Belt Region Development Commission. There is now a Northeast Region Development Commission. And the critical question is, to what extent are all these regional commissions translating into development? Nothing that we can see of. But just trying to play up the things that divide us. So that as a legislator, I'm not thinking what Nigeria as a senator. I'm rather thinking of how do I produce the managing director of my South Region Development Commission. Should it be from this extraction or should it be from this extraction? And why that is going on in a very dimensional way, they are doing what they know how to do best. Looting and taking back to go and invest in the hands of the colonial authorities. Master. And that is what is going on.
All of them have houses here.
They call that a predictable economy. They mop up the naira. They are not sure of the value of the naira tomorrow. They use it to go and buy dollar, and there, because dollar is a more dependable denomination, is that, or currency rather, for storage of value. You know that in Nigeria, the value will go up tomorrow. But that of naira, so you mop up the naira and you go there and use it to buy. And so that is what we are doing, trying to do a mop-up system and turn around of a corruption that is we are not ever actually successfully turning around. And at the end of the day, we are not coming up with tangible development. Instead, what we are doing is give this cosmetic indication that something is happening. Meanwhile, you are giving the impression that the Isoko man is your enemy in Delta.
Yes.
I don't know how the Shekiri man is my enemy.
I don't get it.
The vision of the Yoruba man counters with my own vision. I really cannot understand. I really cannot understand.
That is beyond my comprehension.
It's an elite creation, which is the carryover of the colonial masters divide and rule.
You use the word. Divide and rule
strategy.
Yes. That is what El-Rufai and Tinubu is doing at the moment. Tinubu will say, oh, they want to take the power. It's our turn to be in the South. Tinubu, is that what you were asked to do? What have you done to even those in the South? You know, Buhari was there for 8 years. What did he do for people in the North? You see, let us look for somebody who can work for these children. They love Nigeria. They went there to fight for Nigeria. You see, when you go to this market here, these women, they don't know where you come from. They are different tribes you see there. What unites here is Nigeria. And in fact, what should be uniting us should be Africa. And in fact, what should be uniting us is a better world for every one of us. And on that basis, we're going to go on a quick break. When we come back, we're going to take a look at the newspaper and put this show to rest. Today is a difficult one, and I know it's not the most friendly show you want to have, but this is what we do here. This is what we do. I don't think we'll ever be able to talk what you really want to hear. But if we come together under this simple understanding, I'm sure Nigeria will move forward. Nigeria have all it takes. We are good people. In fact, Nigeria, for me, today, should be the example of the united Africa. So if Nigeria begin to unite and begin to do things together, we will begin to attract the other Africa together and begin to, sooner or later, there will be the United States for Africa. And perhaps then we will not tell the world that, you know what is even Europe? What is Africa? What are we talking about? Let us have a united world so there will be no more killing. The reason we justify killing today is beyond me. And when I look back to why the Europeans formed the European Union, it's a simple reason. Maybe it's a strategy we should be thinking of today. Let the world come together. I'm going to use the word of that very guy. Let us come together and form a union so that we will not be able to kill ourselves. So that there will be no killing of Palestinians and Israelis. So that there will be no killing of Russians and Ukrainians. All in the name of what? What are you looking for? Nigerians, if we take a look at this, maybe we should start the cure from here. It's going to start small, like Abuto taught me. The most complex things are made up of the simplest things. Don't go away, we're going on a quick break. And this is the season. If you're surprised today, our background is a little bit different. The Nigerian week season is here. We'll be playing a lot with the background. You can see Nigeria at the background of our broadcast. Nigerian season, it's an event we have here in the UK, and we play the advert continuously. Those of you who have been watching us, you can see the advert. The Nigerian Week is an event organized by us yearly in London, where we give the opportunity for Nigerian products and services to be showcased. And we're not talking of only art. So as you could, it's a mixture of art and businesses. You see Nigerian music, Nigerian movies, all of them being showcased. At the same time, our products and services. We're not looking for oil. In fact, I intentionally did not include oil. So I'm looking at the natural mineral resources. I'm looking for the Ministry of Mineral Resources. I'm looking at the agricultural potential of Nigeria. We're looking at the real estate. We're looking at the food. We're looking at our fashion, how this can prosper, how this can be a product that should be showcased and sold to the rest of the world. I must say this. The reason I do the show, before I play the advert again, is a time ago, I walk into a shop here and I buy clothes. Do you know most of the clothes I buy here are not made in England? Made in Bangladesh is a very good product here. You end up buying it and taking it to Nigeria. So what you are buying to Nigeria is actually made in Bangladesh. Some of you come and you buy things from Nest. Nest products are not made in the UK. They are made in Bangladesh and all those countries. They brought to here. You come, you buy Nest. It's I'm hearing Nest. Nest is not made here. The M and S are not made in England. So it's time for Nigerian product to be in those shops. We have the potential to do so. That is what Nigerian Week is all about. Nigerian fashion can be in those big brands. So the rest of the world can come and buy. We should be having a contract with Nest. We contract with M&S to supply them. Because you know why it's so good for us? We have the manpower. Our labor is cheap. Nigerian government need to sit down on the table and talk. That's why I organized Nigerian Week. And I organized Nigerian Week to the extent that I said, hey, how can we be making movies and Netflix is selling the movie back to us? I'm bringing them to UK. We're going to have a conference. We're going to, and in fact, so many opportunities because I've been around for so many years. I am in talk with the Nigerian women in mining. Nigeria have an association of women in mining. They are working, this woman, the president is a geologist. She can tell you what we have in the state, in the country. When they show you the potential in the mining sector, you'll be crying for Nigeria. Let us get up there. Let us move. And the reason I do this is to showcase the brand Nigeria. So that's what you see today. Our broadcast is having Nigeria at the back, and that is the banner for the Nigerian 2025. Don't worry, I'm still going to play you the advert. When we come back, we'll be enjoying the newspaper review today with Tubaka. Don't go away, stay with us.
Nigeria Week London 2025. It's time to celebrate the pulse of Africa's most exciting nation. Nigeria Week London 2025 is coming to Hippodrome Theatre from July 24th to 26, 2025, showcasing the best in Nigerian arts, music, fashion, and investment opportunities. Whether you're looking to discover the future of real estate, explore Nigeria's culinary masterpieces, or get immersed in an electric Afrobeat performance, this is the event of the year. You can also join us for a film festival, cultural dance spectacles, and the recognition awards. Don't miss out on the business opportunities and cultural experiences waiting for you. Book your tickets now before they're gone on eventbrite.co.uk. Call or text +447 438 893 190 or 080 330 46768 or +447 459 071 747. visit our website superiorradioandtelevision.com. Nigeria Week London 2025. Nigeria Week London 2025, celebrating the best of Nigeria, is partnered with Civil Society, scaling up nutrition in Nigeria.
A very big welcome to you all. Like you know, this is Rise and Shine Nigeria. Currently, we're having a little bit of we're in a state where we play politics over governance. That's the phase we are. But I'm sure Obaka will run us through the newspaper this morning. And before we put this show to an end, like I said, we try and keep it within the 1 hour, 30 minutes. So we still have energy to do other things, because it's quite 2 hour show in the morning is exhausting from me sitting down here. So an hour, 30 minutes should be good enough. So Baka, please let us take a look at the papers.
It's a super Thursday here, and we have an array of newspapers, local, state, regional, and national. But let's start off from Punch and see rising insecurity. FG orders new strategy amid fresh attacks in Borno and Benue. Fresh attack in Borno and Benue. FG orders new strategy. Mijak, you see that if the Senate is asking for a 2-day security summit, but the federal government is saying we are not ready for a security summit or insecurity summit. Rather, let's have a rejigging of the military strategy and approach. Why the Senate appears to be disagreeing with the federal government. More killings in Borno and Benue. Your take.
It's so unfortunate. This is since when Buhari came. Look, a lot of people maybe were forgotten. Buhari's election was won based on the promise that he was coming to fight Boko Haram out. APC, we have been in power since 2015 to date, and there have not been any improvement in the security architecture of the state. Mr. President presently was the leader, still a leader in the APC. And different chief of army staff, chief of defense staff, chief of general staff have come and gone with this kind of promises. We are tired of promises. What we need is action. We need action. We need to be seen and not to be heard alone. We need action that is practicable. That we want to see that this security, security, or rather insecurity, is nipped in the bud, and of course the bandits are neutralized. And another major problem is most of times when they profile these people, they say they are repentant militants. I mean, there's nowhere in the world where you see a militant that is repentant. How do you profile them? How do you de-radicalize them? There's so much when they use these acronyms for them, repentant militants. We are just recycling these people. Somebody that has been used to look. If you have killed once, to kill again, they had. And if you are to de-radicalize, is the most difficult transformational process. De-radicalization, somebody that has been radicalized. That's why you find a lot of radicalized Muslims in the north, and those ones kill fellow Muslims because they are not like them. So this trajectory of the federal government new strategy, I've been hearing new strategy for almost 15 years now, and nothing has happened to the situation.
Okay, so still on the Punch, Benue governor alleges removal plot as speaker's reference. National Assembly.
We don't say to get the power to do so.
Alleges removal plot as speaker's conference against National Assembly. So
it's laughable.
The guy have reason though.
Everybody. Yes, so the guy has seen it before we know it. Just
he has seen it coming. Okay, so even in spite of his not allowing P2B to visit his state, he's still not seen as an ally.
Exactly,
So,
yes.
So we also have a U.S. helicopter firm indicted in Wigwe's death. Wigwe used to be the CEO of Access Bank. And of course, we know how he himself and his family died. The Inquisition on it has revealed that the helicopter firm has been indicted in the circumstances of that death. That's a rather sad one. Then, as it has to do with the international scene and, of course, religion and the possibility of the emergence of a new pope, Punch has it that Pope cardinals resume voting today after inconclusive first ballot. They had a first ballot that was inconclusive, and so black smoke had to emerge. If it had been conclusive, a white smoke would have emerged. Why will it be
Pope Mbaka will come out?
no, not until Akpabio has been made a pope.
I'm telling you.
Okay, Akpabio first. After Akpabio,
he was there when they were burying Pope Francis. So he's preparing himself.
If it's possible for the Papa seat to be bought, I trust Nigeria.
Because what money cannot buy, more money can buy.
Well, interestingly, I think I must appreciate the process. I mean, I know I followed from later Pope John Paul II is coming in. As I followed the process of electing a new pope, the cardinals and all that, the reference to the black smoke and the white smoke. But most importantly, religion should be able to impact in world governance, and that's what I want a religious leader to understand. It's not just about a religious leader being a papa or mama or being the Anglican Bishop of London or being the Pope of the world. What have they been able to impact in areas of crisis, in areas of leadership crisis? What has the church done? What have the clergy been able to do? Both Islamic clergy and Christian clergy. What have they impacted the life and livelihood of what they preach? Because Christ, that was not the. Christ came for peace. So they should look at the possibility of using their positions of authority, spiritual authority, to create a relationship between the governed and the government, so that we can feel their impact. It's not just about practicing the religion alone, but it's about the religion impacting in our lives and in our style of governance.
A more impactful.
I know, but before you jump, before we leave there, let's look at this white and black smoke that is coming from the Vatican. The black and white. You know, sometimes these people insult us. They make us become radicals. They call you a black man. And black signify what? Go and read the Bible. Uba can look at something black around you. Are you really black? Don't you see black things? I think I can see black stuff here. And then they call themselves white. But are they really white? Don't you know what is white? And then, you know, my worry is when you use that for a particular set of people, you dehumanize them. And perhaps that's why today in the United Kingdom, in my new movie, there was a serious fight I created when they say a black man. He said, call me an African British, don't call me a black. It's only Britain that is still calling people black. Americans have they refuse it. They no more agree. You don't call somebody a black American. He's an African American. Do you understand? It's a big word. How can you call me black when my color is not black and you're white and you're not white? Call me by who I am. I am an African American. I'm an African. If you don't have any word for me, don't call me black, call me an African. I'm just using that word from the Pope angle because at there they start. They know they bring white and black smoke. Black, no. White go be good, magnificent. Pope don't come, good news don't come. So will be black people will be bad news. Go on, sir. You guys, your sound is mute. Oh. Why not mute them for Asaba? What is going on in Asaba?
They have arrived at, anyway, but perhaps that takes us to Tribune. And in Tribune, the lead story there emanates from Jonathan's lecture in honor of Ike Clark, where he warned that one-party state, Jonathan warns against backdoor manipulation.
Yes, that's what he used. That's what I said. Yes.
One-party state, Jonathan warns against backdoor manipulation. Jonathan is warning that as far as democracy in Nigeria is concerned, the tendency towards this gravitation towards one-party state is also symptomatic of anarchy, and that it will also mean we are getting to dictatorship. So that is that from Jonathan. Then we have Labour Party crisis that has to do with Abure. National Working Committee suspended, and King Gige, and okay. So maybe we'll go to Vanguard. Okay. Federal government force reps differs with Senate over security summit. And same Vanguard, Governor Allo alleges plot to destabilize Benue. The governor is alleging plot to destabilize Benue. Defection, one-party state will lead to anarchy. That is Jonathan, the way Vanguard has put it. Defection, one-party state will lead to anarchy. And, of course, silence as a silent killer. How stigma hampers mental health struggle. Okay, I think they are promoting a feature on the inside page. And Very Dark Man regains freedom after 5 days in EFCC detention. Very Dark Man regains freedom after 5 days in EFCC detention. I think that is that from Vanguard. So majorly we have taken a Tribune. We also did take Guardian and Punch. Guardian says tax reform advances as Senate debates clauses, retains VAT at 7.5%. Retains VAT at 7.5%. And 2027, Labour Party imperiled by counter sanctions, defections, and infighting. That is Labour Party telling you that focusing on 2027, they are imperiled by the counter sanctions and defections and infighting. Guardian has its own way of also reporting from concerning the emergence of a new pope. Eyes on conclave for a new pope. Eyes on conclave for a new pope. We are expecting that in the next couple of hours, after the second voting thereabout, a white smoke may emerge to announce to the world that a new pope has
not a black smoke, a white smoke.
No, it can't be a black smoke. A black smoke.
Yes, that's why is the black bad? That's the thing I don't understand.
Yeah. Black smoke might be telling you that a Pope Godswill Akpabio is to emerge.
All right.
White is about purity. White is about purity. So yes. They are still voting, and they are voting, and they are voting. It's not yet conclusive.
Yes.
When it's to be conclusive, then a white smoke will now emerge.
Right.
Then focus on the local government election in Lagos State. 500 aspirants just stood for 57 council and chairmanship seats in Lagos. Lagos has viable local government and development centers, and it's not out of place that there is so much jostling there. Probe detects pilot error indicts company in Wigwe's helicopter crash. That is also how Guardian has put it. And Ganduje ready to welcome Kwakwanso as defectors hit. It's rather defection hit NPP. Ganduje ready to welcome Kwakwanso as defections hit NPP. So
they are going
it's a season of defection.
Can I ask a very
Please do.
Now, if your marriage is not working, you defect, you run away from your wife and go to another person's wife, or go to another man. Don't we have practicable ideological politicians? The MPP was Kwakwasiaya. It was
exactly.
Now you moved with a movement. Now you are beginning to. I was so ashamed yesterday at the National Assembly. That means people will be swapping wives, swapping husbands. We should be
exactly. Yeah.
I mean, political prostitution.
What is that for the case?
That I can never imagine.
Let the self-fornication continue.
Yes. A lady was telling me that in our culture in Nigeria, that prostitution is a migratory kind of business. Maybe we call it enterprise. Yeah. That you will never see an Okwane woman doing prostitution in Nsokwa or Okwane area.
Yes,
no.
Go to another area.
Yes. And if you need a Kano prostitute, maybe you go to Port Harcourt, River State. They always have a way of moving. Why? Because you do not prostitute where they know you.
But we know
the Asaba prostitute, you can't find him here. You can't find that here. The nearest location is Umunede.
Prostitution is not indigenized.
It's not indigenized.
Indigenous prostitutes don't stay in their locality.
Yes, but in political prostitution, they stay where they are known. You know,
it's terrible.
Because they have sold shame to the
in Jesus' name. I'm going to say is in Jesus' name. Yeah. No, we need to have it to guide it. You see what Kwakwanso that was about. You refuse to work with Peter Obi. That this man are you okay? Work with quiet. Tinubu get power. Tinubu get one wish where they follow that old man. Anyway, that's where we're going to put the show to an end today. Whatever it is, Tinubu has some flair and he has some things he's using to get his people. This hurricane, Tinubu, is really, really blowing hard. It's going to take more than ordinary article to push him. You need the light of Peter Obi. People need to. Peter, I don't know what to suggest, but Peter is the only force that can still shake that union. This, what Tinubu is doing right now, only Peter Obi can shake it. But if the North will allow us, that is where we're going to put the end to this show. Thank you very much for joining us. We are not political. We're just preferring a solution to Nigerian problem. I don't speak for this platform. I speak for myself. When it comes to Nigerian election, I only support Peter Obi. Then, when he came out with a thing that a solution to the Nigerian problem, not the revenue allocation, but production allocation. How about a country where they say, Kano, you have to produce this, take this money and start producing this. You start producing this. Delta, start generating, that is the kind of country we want to see. But when you are good in agriculture, concentrate on it. So that's what we're going to call production allocation. Not sharing money. All these governors, these lazy governors, they will not go. If I be president, you will not get 1 naira from me. 1 naira. It's not coming to your state. Thank you very much for joining me today, guys. You guys have been amazing. And we're going to grow. We're going to grow. We're going to grow with the platform. Thank you very much for joining. We will do this again tomorrow. It's a beautiful Thursday, and Nigeria is moving forward. Nigeria can be there, and I pray we'll be there. Don't forget, we started the show when I talk about the united world, what the Europeans did to form the European Union. We should do it for the world, so we can have a world that is united with one common economic. Because the reason why the world is still fighting is still money. The fight between Ukraine and Russia is money. Ukraine is looking for prosperity in the West. The prosperity he couldn't find in Russia. Russia is saying, "You're my wife. Where are you going?" So there's a war there. What are they fighting for? But if the world is coming together, there will be no need for Ukraine to try to join the West. It will be one economy. So maybe that is the only solution to the problem we're seeing. The killing in Palestinians and Israelis will stop if the world is one, because there will be no reason, no way you fight it to. There will be no Arab or Islam or this and this world. We're all in one world. And anything you're going to say, please, can you drop whatever religion and worship God? That's what the world is saying. Because every religion is talking about God. So drop whatever religion and worship God. That's what I would say. Because religion is not God. God is not a religion. God is not a Muslim. God is not a Christian. We know God. It's not a Hindu. Let us worship God. World should come together and worship God and have one government, and there will be no war. The same way I brought to Africa and I said the solution is United States for Africa. If the world refuses to connect, in what I'm saying, then Africa should come together and have a United States for Africa where we have the euro, or the way they have the euro, we have one Afro currency, one united army. Russia on anybody, America or China will negotiate with us, not going to negotiate with Mali and then negotiate with this. What is it for? You don't have economy. Anyway, as if that is not bad enough. As if that is not bad enough, Nigeria is fighting to this debate in the name of these politicians who are only fighting for politics. Now, Kwakwasu is even going to join now. That's what they do. They only play politics. But what is really important, what we need governance for, is not part of this debate. How can you put the debate down and the crucial thing, the thing that really matters to us is not there? That is what we're going through. We need to change the narrative, and perhaps Nigeria will get a future we're all here for. Thank you very much, guys in Asaba. We're very proud of you, and we keep doing the good work there. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Stay out of trouble. God bless you all.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Bye for now.
Thank you.
Nigeria Week London 2025. It's time to celebrate the pulse of Africa's most exciting nation. Nigeria Week London 2025 is coming to Hippodrome Theatre from July 24th to 26, 2025, showcasing the best in Nigerian arts, music, fashion, and investment opportunities. Whether you're looking to discover the future of real estate, explore Nigeria's culinary masterpieces, or get immersed in an electric Afrobeat performance, this is the event of the year. You can also join us for a film festival, cultural dance spectacles, and recognition awards. Don't miss out on the business opportunities and cultural experiences waiting for you. Book your tickets now before they're gone on eventbrite.co.uk. Call or text +447 438 893 190 or 080 330 46768 or +447 459 071 747. Visit our website superiorradioandtelevision.com. SRTV. Innovative content.